I have a small two-car garage with barely enough room to open the car doors, and in order to keep my welder handy but dump it out of the way, I've decided to build a shelf bracket next to my welding table. This shelf is going to be made from 1-inch angle iron, and the shelf will be placed just high enough that my car won't hit it while I back it into the space. After marking lengths of the pieces, I cut everything to length with my metal cutting circular saw. The ends of most of these pieces are getting cut in some fashion, and the weld bead can fill in minor gaps, so having a perfectly square cut isn't necessary. Instead of mitering the corners of these pieces, I'm going to trim off the bottom leg of the angle so that the pieces nest together. The shelf will have angled kickers back to the wall, so I mark the cuts for those also. Now to cut everything out. I get the shelf pieces laid out and roughly square, and then start tacking things into place. After tacking, I check the diagonals to see if it's square, which it isn't just yet. Putting a clamp on the long diagonal, I tighten it up until both diagonals have the same measurement. I then proceed to weld everything up, skipping around so that the welding heat doesn't distort things too much. And then a bit of grinding to smooth down my poopy welds. A quick test fit of the shelf, and then on to the rest of the assembly. It turns out I cut these angled pieces a bit long, so I square them up with the uprights and trim off the excess. For mounting the shelf to the wall, I drill a couple holes in the uprights for some screws. To keep the cords of the welder organized and also to have a place for my welding jacket and helmet, I'm bending a piece of 1/4-inch square bar into a hook shape, just freehanding it into something that looks right. This hook will go in the middle of the shelf. To finish things off, I degrease, prime with the self-etching primer, and then follow up with matte black hammer tone to hide the roughness and imperfections of my assembly. After the paint had overnight to cure, I proceeded with mounting it on the wall. I pre-drilled for the screw holes so that they wouldn't split the wall studs, and found out in doing so that there's a steel lally post behind the drywall here. These are steel pipes filled with concrete, so I drilled through the steel pipe and followed up with a hammer drill bit for the concrete. I used a steel leg screw on the left side for the wooden stud, and a Tapcon anchor on the right for the lally post. This shelf is a very convenient place to hang my welder, welding jacket, helmet, gloves, and magnets. What's more, it keeps everything tucked up away from my car, saving me a lot of space. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.